Welcome back, everyone. This is GTA Failer. So there's going to be some explanation here at the start of this video because this is kind of a funny point in the run. The ultimate goal of not the step that's highlighted in blue on that timing program, but the next step is to find the fixed BF injection and then return that to island number 2. Ultimately, the BF injection needs to go to an import-export garage on island number 3, which isn't unlocked yet. But in the meantime, we're going to take it to island number 2 and store it in our garage for safekeeping. Now, the funny thing about the BF injection is that it does not roam in the wild. It only lives in one particular spot, only at certain times of the day. I forget the backstory. I think this car belongs to, I don't know, Joey or somebody, and in theory, it's only there when he's not at work because his car is with him at work. And so this BF injection is only available between 6 p.m. and midnight, or 1800 and 2400, according to the in-game timer. So what you can do, if you just want to ignore all of the complication stuff that I'm going to describe here, is you can just go from where we are. Right now, we've just finished gone fishing, so we're right by one of the import-export garages. And you can drive over to your Portland safe house, this first island that we're on. Just drive to your safe house, save the game. Every time you save the game, the clock advances 6 hours. Save the game until the time is between 1800 and 2400. And then the fixed BF injection is actually quite close. The spawn location is quite close to the Portland safe house. So it's not that big a deal to go over there and save once or twice or maybe even 3 times in order to get the time to be correct between 1800 and 2400. But there are some other vehicles we need to import-export, and many of them are located near this import-export garage that we're close to at the moment after finishing the gone fishing mission. And so what I thought it would be efficient to do would be to just do a bunch of these fixed spawn locations, which take time, and do them until the time is between 1800 and 2400 naturally, which saves me a little bit of an extra drive to get to that safe house, and it saves me the time it takes to save the game. We're probably only talking like 20-30 seconds altogether, but I just figured it would be slightly more efficient to do it this way. And so I'll list for you the vehicles that we're after here. It's a Bobcat, a Linerunner, a Moonbeam, a Patriot, a Pony, and a Rumpo, all of which have fixed locations. And if you do all of them, all 6 of those vehicles, kind of in a row from their fixed locations, I don't know how long it takes. It might take like 7 or 8 minutes or something like that, which might bring the time naturally in the game between 1800 and 2400. And then you can just run over and grab the BF injection without kind of artificially fast forwarding time by saving. But it's also possible that you do all of these things and it's still not 1800 o'clock yet. And so you might still have to artificially save to get the timer in between the 2 things. But I'm just going to, right now in my game, it's just after noon, 12 noon. And so I'm just going to show you the fixed locations of these 6 items in this video. It turns out that, I said items, these fixed locations of the vehicles. It turns out many of the vehicles are quite common. And so it's possible that in going to the fixed location of one of the vehicles, you find a different vehicle just in the wild. And it might be quicker to just grab that vehicle if you're quite close to this import-export garage already. But I'm not going to do that. I'll point them out as we see them in the wild. But I'm just going to show you the locations of the 6 vehicles that we're after here. And these 6 vehicles are listed on that import-export cars list that I made a shared Google Doc for. So hopefully you've got that open or maybe even printed out and you're just using it as a checklist. We've already done the first 4 items, the first 4 cars on that list: the bus, the flatbed, the secure car, and the trash master. And now we're doing the next 6. I'll grab them in alphabetical order just because that's how they're listed. But let's give it a shot. So we're going to take this vehicle and head over to the first one. Alphabetically, it's a Bobcat. The Bobcat is a pickup truck. If you want to see pictures of each of these vehicles that are required, there's a link in the description to this video. I mentioned the shared Google Sheet, that's there, but there's also a link to a web page which shows you exactly what's required for 100%. All right, so this vehicle right in front of us here, this pickup truck, that's the Bobcat. So if I were really playing this for time and not for creating this tutorial, I would have stolen that vehicle right there. There's a Pony, that blue van that we just passed. But my point here is to show you the fixed locations of all of these things, just so you can see them. There's another Bobcat, lots of Bobcats around, all these pickup trucks. I think there was a Patriot right there behind us. We're getting shot at by the Mafia, so probably should not dawdle here. So we'll take this Bobcat all the way back to the import-export garage and deposit it. And I'm keeping an eye on the clock. Again, I'm looking to get the time between 1800 and 2400. It might take too long. I don't know. We'll see what happens after I drop all 6 of these vehicles off. I'm just going to do all 6, even if it brings me to a time that's later than 2400. So I was saying there's a website linked in the description to this video. As I run out of here, I'm going to aim for this thing, and now I've got my pencil, and I'm not looking at the game, but I'm checking off the Bobcat, and now I'm back looking at the game. So you can check off on the paper without actually losing any time. Next up is the Linerunner. That's a truck, or I guess the front of a truck or something. I don't know what it's called, the cab of a truck. It's right over here. We did a unique jump off of this ramp coming up, and then this truck right back here is a Linerunner, very conveniently located. There's a link in the description to this video with a listing of all the things required for 100% completion of this game. And if you're at that other web page, there's a list of all of the import-export vehicles required for all 3 import-export places, and pictures, like a really great resource with a photograph of each of these vehicles. So checking out the photographs will help you learn what these things look like, and then you'll be more prepared to spot them in the wild. Running straight, not looking at the game, checking off on my piece of paper, and now I'm back looking at the game. So check out those pictures, quite helpful, I think. Next up, we're going to go to a Moonbeam. So the Kuruma is not there anymore because it's still over by that Linerunner we just grabbed. Okay, so the Moonbeam is a van. It's very common. I'd rarely have to go to the fixed location, which is a little bit of a trip away. That's a Patriot right there that we're passing. Another Patriot. Either of those would be good for us in this collection of 6 vehicles we're after. But again, as part of the tutorial series here, we're going to show you where the fixed location is of each of these things. So this vehicle right here that's cutting me off, that's a Moonbeam. You can tell because it's got all the windows on the sides, 3 windows on the side. This right here, this van is also one of the ones we need. That's a pony. There's a Bobcat. We got one of those. I think we're still getting shot out here. Yeah, this is the problem with being in St. Mark's after you piss off the Mafia. All right, so here we go. Moonbeam. So the way that I remember the name of the Moonbeam, because there's actually 3 vans that we need, and they kind of all, have the same shape. They're all van-shaped. The Moonbeam has all of these beautiful windows on the sides and on the back, and so I just picture like an actual moonbeam that is a ray of light reflected by our moon. And I just picture the Moonbeam, the actual rays of light shining through all of these many windows in this vehicle. So that's how I remember this van's name, I should say. Okay, so we drop off the Moonbeam to get out. We run and jump. I aim myself towards this alleyway, and then I stop looking at the game, grab my pencil, check off Moonbeam, and now I'm back at the game. Okay, next up alphabetically is the Patriot. So there are plenty of Patriots out in the wild, but we're going to grab a fixed one, which is nearby. It's actually the Patriot that you use to activate Patriot Playground. So it's just over here in this super save. There's a very teeny time loss associated with grabbing this one because we're going to get the beginning of the cutscene telling us what the mission is that we're starting here. And as soon as the dialogue, the text starts at the bottom, you push W, and that will skip the rest of the explanation. You can only do that after you have heard the entire explanation at least once before. And so since we've already done Patriot Playground, we were able to skip it this time around. Okay, so we take the Patriot over here. Now this Patriot is on a mission right now. So we get this error, come back when you're not so busy. All you have to do is get out, read that insulting note on the bottom of the screen, and then you're able to import-export the Patriot. Okay, so heading towards the alley, checking off the Patriot. Now looking at the time, we're at 17:30. That's real close to 1800. If I were playing this game for speed right now, I would stop collecting these vehicles and I would go over to the fixed location of the BF injection. But just for the purpose of the video, we're going to do 2 more of these vehicles. I might still make it. I guess we probably still will make it. We'll see. Why is the coach not in my list? I feel like I forgot the coach. All right, what am I looking for? The pony? Okay, so the pony is right over here. And we'll grab it just like this. So the pony has no extra windows on the side. There's one more van we're going to grab, the Rumpo, and that has a window on the side in the rear, like the rump of the van. And so, so I remember the name of the pony, distinguishing it from the other two vans in this collection, because I just picture a pony like an actual animal, the pony driving this thing, no other windows on the vehicle at all. It's just a pony driving a pony. Not the greatest mnemonic, what can I tell you? All right, so I've checked off the pony there, and then we'll grab the Rumpo, which again has a fixed location. And I prefer the Kuruma. I think it's just a little bit better to drive and steer than the perennial there, but I mean, we're not going far for any of these things, so probably doesn't much matter either way. Okay, so head into the fixed Rumpo location, pretty close. We're just going to head up to this intersection and make a left. That right there, this red van is a pony, just the one window on the side. So here is the Rumpo with the extra side window right there. And that side window is towards the back of this van, the rump of the van, as it were. So that's how I remember the Rumpo. It's got a window in the rump. Okay, so I guess we accidentally skipped the, it's not the bus, what's it called? The coach. I'm working off of a piece of paper, like I mentioned, and the piece of paper is not my official shared Google Doc. I actually don't have that thing printed out in front of me, so I just wrote the list down from memory, and apparently I forgot the coach. So we're going to do that one now. Okay, so checking off the Rumpo, that one's done. We're going to head over to the coach location. And then I think that'll be it for all of these fixed spawns here. Okay, so the coach is a bus. Now there's another one on our import-export list called a bus. So the thing that the game calls a bus is a school bus. And the thing that the game calls a coach is like a public transportation type bus. So it's just over here inside of this space right here. And we're going to grab this coach and bring it to the import-export garage. And then I think that'll be it for this collection. And we should have enough time to get over to the BF injection location, which is pretty far north on this island. Oh my goodness. Do be careful when you're driving this very, very slow thing, because often you have the alarm going off, and if there's a police officer nearby, you will get a 1-star wanted level, which is not a big deal if you're moving. But if you're not moving, or if you're moving very slowly because you're just starting to accelerate this thing from stop, then you could get busted, which is no good for anyone. Okay, so I think that's it for this collection. There's still a few more vehicles to import-export to complete this garage, but they are routed in at various times. And now I'm going to pretend that I'm coming over here to my piece of paper and checking off the coach because I accidentally neglected to list it in the first place. But you would check that thing off, and then I think that would be the end of this collection phase. Let me just double check that I've got all of them. Hang on one second. Okay, so I just double checked my shared Google Doc and I realized a problem. The problem is I just neglected to put the coach on there. So I will fix that before this video drops. So nobody will be any the wiser to my mistake. But in any event, that was the end of our collection of 7 vehicles during this sort of like killing time, trying to get the game time to 1800 to 2400. So we collect those 7 vehicles or fewer of them, just enough to get you in this desired window. Any that you don't collect here, you're going to collect at the very end of the game. So it doesn't much matter whether you do them now or later, but I thought it was slightly more efficient to do them now, just to try to kill time if you need to get the clock to this window. Okay, so now we are going to head over to the, all right, so we're going to slash because we've finished collecting. And then we're going to find the fixed BF injection, and we've got like 2 minutes and change to get there. Plenty of time. It's a little bit of a drive, but we'll get there in plenty of time. If the fixed BF injection is not in its fixed location, then you just drive away a tiny bit and then come back, and hopefully it spawns in where it's supposed to. I've never really had any trouble getting this vehicle to spawn. And we have plenty of time to do that. If you need to save, you just go like 1 block further west to our safe house there and save to bring the time to between 1800 and 2400. Okay, so this thing right here, this is the location of the fixed BF injection, and there it is in all its glory. So again, if it's not there, I would just drive my Kuruma a tiny bit further north on this road. I think I typically turn around right around these traffic lights and then head back and just keep doing that until it shows up. Okay, so the BF injection looks cool and sounds cool, but it kind of handles like garbage. So I take this very slow. It's quite easy to flip this thing. So even here in the tunnel, I'm going to be careful because I don't want to smack into a car, which might force me into a curb, which might flip me, honestly. So we'll slash because we're in the tunnel here. Can I get in front of you? All right, enjoy driving into that wall. I promise I will unlock that island soon enough and let you pass. Okay, and then there's another note that says if you don't have at least 10 rockets, then you should buy them. Because again, we're coming out of the tunnel onto the second island, which puts us near Phil's, which is that place where we can buy the 2 really awesome weapons, the M16 and the rockets. And we're going to need rockets for Plaster Blaster. So this is a good opportunity to, oh goodness, to just head over here to the right up this driveway and then go grab some rockets, maybe 4 sets. Oh, it says 3 sets right there in the timing program. That's cool, but I know that I already have rockets. So we slash past that. And then it says put the BF injection into the Staunton garage. So that's what we're about to do. And then we're going to end this video here with all of the car collecting, including the BF injection, done. Pretty good. Okay, I think that's good there. Oh, we'll minus that one and call this video complete. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again real soon.